Guruji beautifully guided and let us know that yes, teaching is a method to just keep it as part of your own practice. But teaching is not the end in itself. So therefore, by having many people, many students around, it doesn't make one be that which is the realized guru awareness. And as we say again and again, guru is a state of awareness. And there where the vision of oneness is held at every moment, I shall not say held, because holding means something that you are really making an effort to hold. You just basically live that state. So in that way, when one finds and sees someone that just makes them feel their heart warms up, their intelligence gets sparked, their being just gets lit in their presence, that is the guru in whose presence you are. Just as when the sun is there, the sun simply shines, and the sun always has the vision of oneness. It never divides that, oh, I'm not going to shine on the rock because I'm not going to get any reflection. It never makes a distinction, I'm going to shine on the water because it will reflect and it will emanate the light. Sun just simply shines. And Guru is that being, the realized being, the one who lives that state, that he simply is in that awareness, forever present, established, and in his presence you are automatically enlightened into that consciousness which he is. So I think it is very true, Guru is very important in order to be enlightened. And as to you said that the mind can't grasp it, and I would like to say, through the evolution of being in the presence of Guru and listening to hundreds and thousands of hours and being in the presence with Swamiji when he would be talking to varieties of people, yes, when the mind is unpurified, an unpurified mind cannot grasp the self. But when through sadhana, through meditation, through varieties of means that you impart to varieties of people, when that purification of the mind takes place, at that time the mind no longer functions as a divisive mechanism, and it stops dividing and it gets transformed into its own consciousness. At that time we say, yes, I use the means of my mind and its intelligence to get to that which is my own source and which alone is forever. Thus, in that way, Guruji used the mind, Guruji used the intelligence and evolved into knowing that you are always the source, my dear mind.
My dear mind. I love
Yeah.
that. Beautiful. When you were speaking, two questions came up. One would be, when I put my mind and my heart to the listeners, say in the West, that are householders or working or have families, and there is still that same innate desire in all of us to have that freedom and to have that recognition of the self, as Swamiji imparted on anybody that came and sat in front of him. But what could we say to that person that doesn't have a guru in the physical form? How can one begin to meet their own self in that way? And I guess similarly, when we talk about purifying the mind, how do we purify the mind? How do we meet that Satguru inside without the living being in the form?
Yes, it is, one has to simply, in that case, as we also know, Guruji would always say, yes, I am sitting in front of you, but he never called himself a guru. It's us that called him a guru. He never called himself a guru. He just called us himself as a friend. He just thought, I am your own self. As we know, all the letters that he would sign, he would call them as your own self. So then what Guruji gave us the knowledge that Guru is that, as we said, that light of consciousness which is always there. And that is the nature of everyone. So therefore, Guru is not someone that is only outside, particularly at this point when our beloved Guruji's form is not in front of us now, and there are hundreds and thousands of people around the world that are just simply living their beautiful life in the best possible way they can. But Guru says that, Swamiji says so beautifully, that everyone has the power to tap into their originality. And the originality is that pure intelligence, as we said, and everybody can think, everybody can know. Everybody knows that this is hot out. I can't stand in the sun. And I don't want to stand in the freezing cold either. That being that is in everyone that knows. That knowing power is Guru in everyone. And so therefore, Guru is within. Guru is that power that is always present within everyone. And it can be tapped into, first of all, basically, if you never heard about it, you would never even think to tap into it. But when you hear from somebody that Guru is that knowing power within you, you simply have to tap into that, and then you will be that Guru which will guide you with perfection. And for that, I think one just simply the best way that I know as a direct experience, it is through meditation. It is simply through meditation. And meditation means in Hindi, it means dhyan. And dhyan is not an act of meditation. Dhyan word is, again, inherent in the language. If I say put the glass attentively, dhyan means attention. And so then when we place the attention, in that very moment, that meditation takes place. And when we place the attention with being attentive to where we are placing the attention, that is the perfect state of meditation. And normally our consciousness just remains consciousness or thinking power or our actions or our emotions, they remain involved in objects and things and places. But we look at a flower, we say, yes, that's a beautiful flower. And but do we ever pause and think as to who is the one that is actually seeing the flower? It's not just the eyes. And there is the being that actually, after seeing the flower, says that is a beautiful flower. That is the knower or the knowledge in everyone. And that is the knowing power, the Guru, on whom we meditate. Thus, we, at every step, if we just take a moment back and stop just being involved with the eyes seeing the objects, or the ears hearing the voice, hearing the sounds, hearing the music, or the tongue tasting varieties of taste, if we just take a pause and close our eyes, and at that time we just see as to who it is with whose power I was able to watch or hear or taste, that is the state of meditation. And it does require closing of the eyes, because as long as the eyes are open, like Swamiji would beautifully say, the two senses out of the five senses that human beings have, the two main senses that are always involving a human being in the state of involvement, worry, concerns, actions, duality, sense of division, is the eyes and the ears. And everyone is very, very attached to all the experiences that we get from the eyes and the ears. And so therefore, in order to let the senses stop for a moment, not stop, but reach or go back to their source, one needs to close their eyes.